Guys, first Phorm wants us to do a video of, my story. Everybody's going to do it. And I'm going to try and keep it short because my story has a lot of screwed up stories in it, and I'd like to tell them all, but I'm just going to get to the gist of it. I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey. It's not Pleasantville, really, so to speak. Two blocks down was the Grandad Projects. Two blocks up was Garrett Mountain. Grandad Projects were torn down because people were getting raped and killed in the hallways, and got a little something on the screen. Raped and killed in the hallways, and it was just bad. I'm all over the place with this damn screen. I grew up. We grew up pretty poor. I mean, we didn't have much. We literally saved pennies. Raised by a single mom. Awesome mom. I mean, you're not going to get a better mom than that. And if you say otherwise, I'll kick your ass. Never missed, never thought I was missing a father or anything like that. I mean, really, just honestly, it's almost like you're missing something you never had. You just can't miss it. Never got child support from him. Never got anything from him. Nor would I expect it. It's it's kind of like getting $5 from a stranger. You don't expect it. We grew up pretty poor, and at a young age, I realized the importance of money and how important money is in everyday life. And we ate what other people put on food, so to speak. We would eat Taylor ham for dinner sometimes, and we would eat just macaroni and cheese or just cereal. It wasn't like that all the time, but we had to do what we had to do. And we bought our clothes at the Red, White, and Blue. For those of you who don't know, Red, White, and Blue, it's basically the Salvation Army. You get your clothes that somebody else wore for a quarter. It was rough, man, but it was fun at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain. That's basically how I grew up. I'm not going to dive into that too much more. It was rough. That's it, plain and simple. I was watching how I got into strength sports, because I played every damn sport, but I was always intrigued by strength. I was watching Bill Kazmaier on The World's Strongest Man, and he was just dominating. He was just killing everybody, and these are the best guys in the world, and he was still dominating them. And I thought to myself, that's what I want to do. And I looked at my mom, my grandma, and I said, that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna kick ass, and I'm gonna be the strongest man in the world one day. And ever since then, I've been just doing what I could to get stronger. I went outside and I picked up the garbage can, I threw it over the fence. I would fill up buckets with water or rocks and walk with it. I'd pick up the biggest rocks I could find. If there were fallen trees in the yard, I'd grab it, pick it up, and squat it, and shoulder press it, deadlift it, and do whatever the hell else I could with it. And then we moved to Prospect Park, where I am now. And that was after my mom had to sell the house for screwed up reasons, but that's another story. I moved to Prospect Park, and in 8th grade, I'm skipping a lot of years. Oh, by the way, I was really horrible in school, learning disabilities and all this other crap. Miss Kaczynski, if you're watching, best teacher ever. Best teacher, really taught me how to learn. Struggled my whole life in school. That teacher was badass. Miss K, awesome lady. Most of my teachers would call me stupid or moron, idiot. Really try and hurt me, and I'd hurt their cars in the parking lot later. Anyway, so when I was about 12 years old, I bought my first weightlifting set with my own money. I started working when I was very, very young, probably around 6 years old, 7 years old, just doing odd stuff, making money. And I bought my own Super Nintendo and Sega with my own money. That was pretty cool. Those of you that know how much that was back then, they weren't cheap. All through, and then I bought my, like I said, I bought my weightlifting set, and I started doing curls and, you know, benches and shoulder presses and shit like that. And I found out that powerlifting was a sport. I said, all right, you know, let's try that. So my freshman year of high school, I decided to go into a meet. I was 15 years old, and in 2000, and I went in and I won. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like 165 pounds. I benched like, I think it was like 240 or something like that. I squatted like 260 and deadlifted 275. It was crap numbers. But it was my first meet, and I still won. I was pretty happy about that. And then like a year later, I'm doing quarter squats and with 825 pounds for sets of 10. And it's just an absurd amount of weight for somebody as young as I was. And, you know, I didn't know any better. It was more just me trying shit. And I stood up too tall, too erect, and I ended up compressing my spine, herniating discs, fracturing it. I fractured multiple vertebrae, nerve damage, and stuff like that, but didn't find out about that. I didn't find out that I broke my back until years later. I've been competing since I was 15. In many different competitions. I got 5 arm wrestling championships. All the high school meets I won. They were push-pull meets. I did 2 meets that I'm very, very proud of, which are the bench press for cancer meets. We raised thousands of dollars. And that's another story why I don't do them anymore. But that's another video. You can go check that out on my YouTube page. And after high school, I thought to myself, all right, now I'm going to really take my powerlifting career to the next level. I'm gonna gain weight. I'm gonna take records. I'm gonna be national champion, and then, you know, world champion within 5 years after that. To tell you the truth, I was on the right track. I was there, and it was scary how strong I was at such a young age. You know, I didn't realize it then, but now, realizing it now, it's scary to me to realize how strong I was. You know, I was 19 years old. I squatted 500 raw, I deadlifted 500 raw, and I benched 400. That's crazy to do. Those numbers are just insane at 185 pounds. And that's without knowing what I know now. Anyway, I'm warming up one day. I'm getting ready to do New Jersey States again. And I end up pulling something in my ab with 225. Not a lot of weight. And I said, all right, you know, that's whatever. It's a strain. I'll call it a day, and I'll come back at it next week. It doesn't go away. I go to the doctor. He says it's a strain, just lay off it for, you know, a week or two and you'll be fine. Well, I lay off for a week or two and it just gets worse. And it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, and months go by and it doesn't get any better. So I go to doctors, and more doctors, and more doctors, and they take tests and this and that, and nobody can find anything. Everybody just says rest up. Well, I've been resting. Now a year goes by, and more money wasted on stupid doctors that don't know anything. Fast forward 5 years, and I haven't touched a weight since. I haven't been able to work. I haven't been able to do anything but become a crippled sloth on my couch. And, you know, I would walk around for maybe 5-10 minutes tops, and I'd fall to my face in pain. And I never knew why. I couldn't figure out why. And over those years, it was tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills. I've had to drink horrible things that were toxic to my body and get injected with these things and be scanned left and right. And that's when I found out that I broke my back years ago. I lost a lot of time because these fucking doctors are stupid. I went through a lot of crap. I got 2 surgeries that did nothing but make me worse in other parts of my body. None on my back, none on my abs. I'm not going to tell you where because it's not important. So one day I'm sitting in the doctor's office and they tell me that my gallbladder is severely calcified and it needs to be removed. So I go and get an ultrasound to verify everything. And what happened was they switched the papers. And I almost had to get my gallbladder removed when it wasn't calcified. There was nothing wrong with my gallbladder. They switched names on the papers by accident. I lost it. I thought this was it. Hey, that's where my pain's coming from. That's where the lumps are coming from. Because I had lumps, 2 lumps the size of my fist in my abs, 2 more half the size of my fist, 20 lumps total, and the majority of them were the size of golf balls or smaller. And so I go into the doctor's office and he tells me it's, they messed up, and I lost my mind. I backed the doctor into the corner and because he wouldn't give me the name of the guy that messed up, and so I backed him into the corner and I got the name. I'm not gonna tell you what I did, but I got the name, and I went after the guy, and right before I got into his office, I stopped and I said, you're going to go to jail if you don't calm down. But I had the right to be mad. I lost years of my life, and this guy's about to dig into my gut and pull something out that needs to be there. Anyway, one day I'm sitting on the couch, again, just the years flew by, and I I stumble to the bathroom like I normally did, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I don't recognize who I see. I see a guy that has gray hair, his hairline's receding, his beard is getting gray, and he's just a cripple. He's pathetic. And that was never me. I was never pathetic. I never looked at myself as pathetic. And, I didn't recognize, I knew that it was me, but I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. It was almost like I was looking at a complete stranger that looked similar to me. And I just got unbelievably angry. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs at the mirror, at this person that's me, but in my state of mind wasn't. I'm yelling and like I'm about to fight this image, this person in the mirror. And I looked at it and I said, "This is enough. You're done. You're not gonna be this cripple anymore." And I could almost swear like I saw a smirk on my face in the mirror when I know I wasn't smirking. But again, I wasn't all there. I lost years and years of my life, important years. I was young. I missed out on a lot of shit. And that's when I said, the only thing stopping you is you. And no matter where you read that or who says it, remember who said it first. This guy. I don't care who said it. on, oh, I made it up and this and that. Bullshit. I've been living by that motto ever since. And I went to the doctor. I got acupuncture by this awesome doctor, Dr. Weil. He put the the needles in my stomach, and he told me they were trigger points. And I didn't know what the hell trigger points were at the time. And he said, these are the worst trigger points I've ever seen in my entire life. And this guy's been doing it forever. And he works on professional athletes all over the world. I mean, New York Giants, everybody, right? So, I get out of the office and I immediately know it's going to work because I couldn't get up off of the table because it felt like I did 1,000,000 sit-ups within 10 minutes. It was insane. The amount of lactic acid that came out of my body was just crazy. A couple months later, he tells me to start working out again. And I looked at him like he was nuts. And he's like, I want you to start working out so that you can recover. I want your body to learn how to recover on its own. Started working out. Another couple months go by of me just doing like walking. That was working out, walking and jogging and stuff like that. And he did. He kept doing what he was doing, and I said to him, "You think I'm good to start lifting weights again?" He goes, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's lift. I want you to compete." And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, I want you to compete." So I was fucking excited, man. I was ready to go, and I haven't touched the bar in years. I had to go downstairs in my basement and dust everything. I didn't go downstairs in my basement for years because I didn't want to look at it. And, it was like an inch of dust on everything. And I cleaned everything off, and I started with the bar. And I knew that 6 weeks later was New Jersey State's. And I had 6 weeks to train, so I started week 1 with the bar. Week 2 was like, 95 pounds. By the time week 4 came around, I was moving pretty good weight. I was very surprised, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that my body was able to handle such weight after all these years, and I wasn't surprised because I was every second of every workout I was just yelling at the top of my lungs, "State champ, state champ, state champ." I was just chant it the whole time, and I was just wanted to be it, and forget want. I needed this, and I went in there with the goal of top 5. And if the win was there, just take it. Just go for it. I went in there and I squatted 384 pounds after 6 weeks of... It's crazy. It's not a big squat, but it was. I was impressed with myself. I benched 369 pounds and I deadlifted 446. I totaled 1,200 even. To this day, that's my most important meet in my eyes for me, right behind the bench press for cancer meets. But for me, that's my most important meet. And I have been improving ever since. I have never competed and lifted in a less total than I did the meet before. That's my story in a nutshell, man. I mean, the video is already almost 20 minutes long. I didn't have it easy. I think most people don't. And if you do, God bless you. That's awesome. But I think the people that don't have it easy or didn't have it easy like myself and had to struggle through everything and then have a massive curveball thrown at them like I did, I think we understand the true meaning of determination. We don't give up. You can't give up. And because we went through something like that, we have a responsibility to show others that you can't give up. There's always somebody going through something worse than you're going through. No matter how hard we had it when I was a kid, me and my brother and my mom, we still ate. We still had food. We still had clothes. And we still had a fucked up roof over our heads. But we still had stuff. So that's my story, and I hope you like it. I hope you stuck along for this 20-minute and 7-second video. It's crazy. Sorry about that. I tried to cut it as much as I could. I left a lot of stuff out. If you want to hear more, just ask me. Comment and I'll answer it. Or I'll make another video if you want. But that's my story, guys, and thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.